I'm just gonna hit the record on anyway. So, but you made your way to the docks district where your slave master was, right? And
Yes, that is correct.
yeah, you get in there and you move by his bodyguards, and you're kind of shown through. And there's some respect you can see from a few of these bodyguards and the musclemen. They hire from the Brotherhood, the Slayers Brotherhood, for bodyguards. And by the way, the offices of the grain is down in the grain district, right? Anyway, so Jim, you pay your debt, but give me a personality check.
I would also like to mention I've changed into one of my other zoot suit type silk fandanglings.
What color today?
I will tell you in just a moment. I made the personality check, but today, because the other one was taken from me, it's like this royal red sort of suit with the flowing cape, and it's got a bunch of suns and flowers embroidered on it. So like orange and all these different colors.
Excellent. It's the hippie onesie.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, so you get some looks, from your former owner, and he looks at you, and almost you feel for a moment, he's gonna renege or something, but he's looking at the masks, and of course they're dormant now, for whatever reason. And you head back to your friends. We'll just sum that up. So you've closed that little segment. I don't really have much planned for that, Jim. Is there's anything you want to add or anything?
No, I very much just wanted it to be as simple. Like I go in there and we just look at each other. No words are really spoken, and then I leave.
Slam it down.
Yeah.
Okay. So he pulls out a piece of paper, and he gives it to you, and it's kind of your deed. Do with what you
Perfect.
will.
I can't wait to wipe my ass with this.
And you head back into town. So the next day, you other guys were doing whatever you wanted to do. Does anyone want to do a carousal while we're?
No, I don't need one.
I will.
Okay. Do you need some luck, Frank?
Yeah, I could use some more fleeting luck.
Now I read up on this, and for the carousing, it's I'm going to homebrew though that you can try to get some fleeting luck. But technically, I don't think it works that way. You can just do it to get back burnt up luck.
Oh, okay.
But I like doing it. I mean, and I think if you want to take the risk to get a bit of fleeting luck, so be it.
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
Now, XP from last session, I've been looking up a couple things here while we're doing this, and I had to figure out per mask, and I think you guys only had 5 masks total. I had here.
I think we grabbed 6 because one got away.
There were 7 total. Oh,
yeah.
Then we had 6.
There were a couple destroyed though.
No, we took really good care of them. None of the masks got destroyed.
All right. So you guys do have a fair amount of masks, and for each, then I have to change that. So you had 6.
So we have 4 masks to sell.
120 divided by. So you guys get 21 XP each. Wow.
Oh, shit.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to spend a bit of time and level up.
Yeah, I need to level up too.
Sweet.
Which I've never leveled up, so let me see if I can.
Oh, I see. So straight up, yes. Roll for hit points and check your thief. So your luck die will go up to D4, I think. And you'll also get a +1 to hit, I think. If you look at the thieves chart. And of course, your skills will go up actually, they go up quite dramatically first, second, and third level, you notice on thieves.
Yeah.
Just zing, they go way up.
Let's see if that automatically fills.
Frank, what do you want to do for the last day besides just kind of drink and hang out? And you said you were going to carouse?
Yeah, I think so. Should I level up first though, or do I gotta double check that I got the.
Oh, it's up to you. You can You can decide if you roll D3 to a D20 for your carousing roll.
All right.
And of course, higher you roll, the higher the die, the higher the consequences and benefits. And we'll just move through some logistics here for a bit.
Yeah, I'll go 20.
And every day I'm going to be getting you guys to roll to see if you pick, and I'll be making rolls secretly to see, unless you precautions. You guys have been laying a bit low, but
All right, I
hard
got
to
an
when you
8.
got money. Oh wow, okay. What?
Not good.
Okay, you get, first of all, you get 2d4 fleeting luck, which is pretty
Awesome.
good.
Yeah,
So
that's sick.
2d4, depending on how you roll. Now I need you to roll,
I rolled
but
great.
so
Nice.
you went on a bender.
It does sound like me.
And it depends on you roll here where you actually ended up. And what actually, so roll 6-sided.
All right. You got a 1.
Okay. Now, for some reason, while you're out there and partying and you got your face around, for sure, because now you have the persona of an exiled prince of Ilfmar.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and you're actually wearing a turban with a jewel on it.
Jeweled turban, yes.
An exiled prince of Ilfmar. Now, Ilfmar is a city to the east, and it's known as a bastion of people that worship rats. The rats of
Okay.
Ilfmar, the rat god of Ilfmar. And the people are, yeah, I mean, they're known as a bit of a shady city, and well, Lankhmar is too, of course. You could have rolled some other ones that are interesting. Holy cow. Now, it says here that your simulacrum, your simulacrum is simultaneously being seen about the city, stirring up fame and so it says you lose all your money, but you do have this gem in this turban.
Oh
worth,
no.
that's worth 200 gold rilks.
Oh wow.
And you're not sure where the real prince is or whatever, but
Oh, okay.
there's large segments of the city that think you're this prince from Ilfmar.
Well, now I'm glad I gave all my money to Batsu so he could get equipped. All right. Okay, excellent. I'll put on jeweled turban.
Yeah. But you're broke besides that, of course.
Yeah.
Nobody else wanted to do a carousal, right?
No, one thing I was wondering is how far away Shielba is, like if I'd be able to get Shielba this other mask in another day.
Oh, I was just getting to that as well. So did Frank a minute. Bob's kind of gone, but for a moment, give me a second. Masks. I had this module open here. It sort of sums it up in the module pretty briefly. It goes, Shielba appears shortly after the party leaves the tenement, so it happened actually quite soon, and
Oh, that's right.
seeking the High Priestess's mask. And if you recovered it, he appears like a sort of gleeful, and he snatches the mask from them, and kind of mumbles at you almost as a side shot to seek him out in the Great Salt Marsh if you require assistance.
Hmm.
And I also, he realizes that, Jim, if you're interested in a patronage.
Oh, absolutely. I already did that.
Right.
The one sort of when I invoked Shielba,
Yeah.
I definitely did it I meant it as more of a patron bond spell, but I muffled it up.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
And in Lankhmar, there's a special way you can invoke patrons, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. So you roll your patron, you roll 10-sided, and on you can improve your spell checks and stuff when for a spell and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So you can call on Shielba when you're going to cast a spell, and if you roll well, he'll give you a bonus to that spell check.
Oh, that's super cool.
And you
All
can
right.
do it depending on your what am I looking for? Your deal with him. He says for now he'll do it for you twice a day.
Nice.
But he goes, there will be a price that I may ask. A favor, you see.
Absolutely.
And then for the moment, though, he's just so happy to get that mask. You realize that, oh, wow, he really likes that he kind of skitters off and leaves you at that. He's a man of few words, Shielba. Very few words. And
Nice.
so, yeah, so a couple days go by. You show up kind of with this turban on at the eel. Are you guys, let's say you meet for lunch at Mildred's every day, or unless you guys have something else.
Oh yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah, and then get some noodle dish.
Mm-hmm.
And you see he shows up with a turban, and you see he shows up with this piece of paper in his hand, waving it. I got my freedom. And Frank, showed up turban. Bob, what have you done? Did we?
A whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Writhed in your rug and just healed and
Yeah,
relaxed for a while?
I'm just. Actually, I do want to do one thing. I do want to see if Tadas, my drug addict friend, has tracked down maybe another source on where to get some of that powder.
Ooh, blue. Yeah. Okay. Well, you could give me a personnel, or no, make that a luck check. See if you can find him on the streets. If you're gonna spend like a morning or afternoon, or you realize he's probably sleeps and is up. I'm not sure if he's nocturnal or not. But whatever, you go out looking for him and give me a luck. Make a luck check. See if you can find him.
All right, failure. Dang.
Couldn't find him. And then while you were out carousing, could you give me a intelligence? I got a DC number because you're watching your back and looking around. So if you go out and about and on the streets and stuff, I'm going to make you roll once in a while, just so you know.
1.
All right.
That's not a natural one, by the way.
You go down an alley. You're in the Tenderloin district, and you're heading back to the eel. And you were out looking for your buddy, one of your beggar buddies, and you duck down a side alleyway, and you're turning, and up on your left, just something tingles, and you're too slow though as you spin about. You do not sense. What is your AC? Oh wow.
12.
Okay, I rolled a 1 for this guy shooting at you.
Oh!
There was an assassin with a crossbow, and he rolls a 1. I just have to roll a fumble here. And you hear it because you didn't even notice. This thing might have shot you in the back, and you wouldn't even have noticed because you rolled a 1, right, Batsu?
Right. Yeah.
You were just like whistling away. And do you have any more of the schnee?
Is that the drug?
Yeah.
No, I remember I got all my stuff taken away.
I didn't tell you that. It's called schnee on the street.
Schnee, okay. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna
blue,
mark that down.
Yeah, or blue.
Okay. Yeah, that's all gone.
Gotcha.
But I know the name now. I know the name. Did he mention that?
Of the drug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, does my character know that? Okay.
Yes. Cool. Okay, now you hear this. Oh, drat! And this guy dropped his crossbow. You hear it, and you spin around. That's the only reason I know he missed or whatever. You spin around, you see this crossbow come flying down into the alleyway. Crash, bang! And you look up and you see this shadowy figure lurching in this sort of fire escape ladder platform, probably 2.5 floors up. And you spin around.
What is he doing? Is he running away?
Roll initiative. Roll initiative, please.
Okay.
Yeah, 20-sided. So you got your character's macro or whatever. I'll roll on. And there might be a bounty on your guys' head, right?
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Okay. 62. Oh, wait. So what'd you get?
13.
13. Okay. And we'll just do this quickly. So he's +1. Okay, no, you still got him. He got a 12. So you can act. And you're not sure what he's going to do, but he dropped his weapon.
I'm gonna try to climb up that fire ladder if I can.
Ah, all right. Give me a. Do you have climb? You're a thief, right?
Yeah. I am a thief. Let's see if I do.
So you're gonna try
Climb.
just race up
I
there.
have climb sheer surfaces. Is that applicable?
Yeah, well, I'll give you that bonus on this roll.
Cool.
And
22.
oh wow. All right, so you just, you launch, your foot just hits the perfect ledge on the wall and it launches you up onto because the ladders usually don't go down because nobody puts ladders at the floor down, right? But
Right.
you reach up and you grab something to heave up and you do a Spider-Man move, get up there, and this guy's so surprised that he tries to run, and he makes his check, and he's a bit panicky because he sees you're going to be on him, like you did that fast.
Yeah.
Well, he's pretty quick too. So he sees you coming. You see his eyes go bugging wide, and he's got the old typical handkerchief over his nose. And he scrambles up ahead of you, but you gain ground, and he just gets the lip of the roof and disappears over the top just as you're getting near the top. And so next round, let's roll initiative again for this one.
Okay.
Or no, sorry, we keep the same initiative. You go ahead and DCC. You roll once per encounter.
Okay. Okay, then I'm gonna continue giving chase to him.
All right, make another roll, and then if you can best him, of course, in maneuver, we'll see how this goes.
Is that climbing?
Your intent is to catch him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and as an action, you can do an action during a move, like for drawing a weapon or something too, right?
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, then I want to do that. Yeah. Is this
Right, so
just
go
a
ahead.
flat roll since I'm not climbing?
This
I'm
is
not
another.
sure what.
No, this is another climb check to see if you can clear the top and gain on him.
Okay,
and I'll
sweet.
give him a roll. I'll give you your thief skill,
Let's see.
and then we'll see if you can either catch him here or he's going to disappear. This kind of sort of
19.
thing. Oh, okay, very good. So he has to basically.
And as I'm trying to run,
Jeez,
natural one. And as
he wipes out.
Excellent.
And you see him scramble and fall down and collapse, and you get right up to him. And I assume you're drawing your weapon as you close.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Now he's prone. That's just gonna. Yeah, he wipes out and slides down like he tried to scramble up the side of sort of a steep roof, and the angle was probably at about 45 degrees, right? And the tile slipped out, and he slammed to the side, and you hear this grunt, and
Excellent.
you're on him.
Yeah,
what do you want to do?
I want to start bashing his brains out. With Dog's Bane, so.
Oh, so are you going for subdue?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack. I'll give you +1 on the D chain because he's prone.
On the die chain? Okay.
So you get a D24 on your. Oh yeah, the game. So or you can just go +2 actually, if. Yeah, I remember it doesn't macro it properly, does it?
No, it's kind of. I submit +2.
Yeah, just do +2, then it works. That does
13
hit him.
To hit.
And you slam him in the head, and it doesn't quite. You hit him hard, and he's still active though, and he's scrambling, and he's trying to get up. And he does get up. He uses his action to get up, and he tries to run, but you get a free attack on him. If he runs.
Nice. Then I shall do that.
Oh, hold on. Let me make a roll here because he tries, to your amazement, he tries to roll off the roof.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he's an assassin. And Well, I don't want to give any more away, whatever. But you get your move first because he just gets up and oh wait, no, he's gonna make a move. Do you want to try stop him?
Yeah, I want to try to hit him. Yeah.
All right, so you have to beat a 16 plus 1, 17
I
agility check to beat him from rolling off because he caught you off guard. He just goes to spin away.
Okay, that's not good. 7. No,
You have to burn a lot of luck to get that one.
no, won't be doing that. So, but
So
he just rolls off the roof or what?
yeah, but he tries to grab the edge of the roof.
Okay. That's weird.
Okay, he rolls off the edge of the roof and he falls down and catches, like he's lucky, he rolled high and he caught like a balcony below. You're just like, oh, lucky devil.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
It was a 15 check to see if he could grab something. I'll see what it went.
Okay.
But he's hanging down below you by about 10 feet. He's holding on to a balcony rail.
Okay. Can I look over the edge and just throw my cudgel at him?
Oh, you could. He's hurting. There's blood streaming down his head from you hit his noggin.
Yeah, I'd love to.
All right.
Let's see. That is a 16 to hit, and I throw it.
Oh, wow. So you crank him and it hits him right in the fingers. Bang! And he snaps his fingers. Crunch! And he's like, ah! And he lets go, of course, and does the old backward golem thing into the lava, into the alleyway. And crack! Probably about 30 feet below, 25 feet. You hear this crunch.
So he's probably less unconscious and more probably dead.
Yeah, that sounded like a crunchy sound more than a...
Well, I'll climb down the ladder, safely, and go check his body.
Yeah, and this guy, he is all dressed in black and looks pretty professional. He's got this little bracers that's attached to his leg that hold crossbow bolts. He's got like 4 in there. And his crossbow is in the alley there, as far as you remember somewhere. Might be broken. But these crossbow bolts are pretty sleek, shorter than you regularly see or whatnot. Might maybe do less damage, but the tips are kind of glistening.
Glistening. Oh, that's bad. He was poison, I'm guessing. I'll take those. And does he have anything else on his person? Any?
He had 12 gold rilks.
Okay.
22 silver smarnucks.
Okay, sweet. Well, I'll brutalize his face and leave. Like make him unrecognizable.
Got it. All right, then
I'll take that crossbow too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And give me a luck check to see if it's broken.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll just give you that.
Check.
Cost you. You might just chuck it.
It's trash. Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
So I'll keep those bolts.
And you show up back at Mildred's, and just kind of like, ooh. But you feel lucky, and you're like, oh, gods are on my side. No issue. So
hey, and I buy lunch that day.
Noodles on me.
Oh, what a nice guy, Batsu.
Yeah.
That's
So
good because I'm
anybody wanna
temporarily late. Hey, Darren.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that one of my languages is Ilthmarish, so that made perfect sense. I would be.
Oh, you could pull it off.
I could pull it off.
He speaks Italian. He must be from Rome. It's like he must be the
Exactly.
Pope.
That's it exactly.
All right, I'm gonna give you a fleeting luck point there for just that, and I'll give you fleeting luck point. Everybody gets 1 fleeting luck for successfully doing their individual endeavors.
Nice.
Well done. A couple days have gone by. Somebody's caroused and people. There's gifts showing up for you. Gratsu.
Really?
Or no, Frank. What's your character's name?
Oh,
Oh, Greco.
Gryko. I said Gratsu.
Gratsu. Yeah, yeah.
That's what our
Greco,
We're
baby
not
you
should
that
be named.
close.
Some flowers show up and stuff like this. There's people sending well wishes to the Prince of Ithmar at the Silver Eel because you said, yeah, I'm at the Silver Eel, and there's a reputation there. You're kind of being feted at the Silver Eel, and people are kind of taking you that you're the local kind of nobleman celebrity that's come in from the east.
Indeed.
And I don't know how much you ham it up. Go ahead though if you want.
Oh, indeed, absolutely. Yes.
Now you have your little friend. Pardon me.
I do.
And yes, now I've thought about this a little bit too. So you have some more factors looking for you. Now, this persona you've taken, Frank, is actually beneficial because you look quite different. And if you wear the clothing and have the turban, you can actually, I don't know if you come up with a different name in the whole bit.
Oh, yes. Yes.
If you follow. Now, all of you can start to think of things like this, like how you're going to cover, maybe, how are we going to lay low or how are we going to deal with our notoriety?
Yeah, I do bring that up to the others that
I tried to shoot me.
Yeah, I pretty much just slammed the crossbow bolts on the counter at Mildred's, and I say, "Look at these. Assassin came after me with these. We need to watch our backs."
So could I pick up one of those bolts? And then I've got this piece of paper, so what I'll do is I'll faintly draw on the sheet, and then I'll try to examine the poison.
Oh, good call. Now, yeah, your background, you got a little bit going there. So I'm afraid now you smell it. You can smell, what was it again? You can smell lilac.
It's a
Faint.
bad sign.
And lilac is connected with, what is it? Ratweed? I think it's called. It's a ratweed. I might have that wrong. No, pardon me. I'll have to look that up, Jim. Sorry, I got that wrong.
So it's
but
rat
it does
poison.
indicate that it's a poison that rots your organs slowly.
Well, I'm glad I didn't take any of that from him.
Yeah,
that's incredibly rude.
Right.
That's not the way we do things in Ilfmarish.
Yeah, you basically take a stamina point damage a day until you're dead, unless you can get it cured.
Well, I sure did show him. Let's just say that, gents.
So, yeah. What about you, my liege? Have you seen anything like this before?
Yes, I'll narrow my eyes and shake my head no.
Perhaps it's a symbol from some group. I mean, I can't see how we've made enemies. We're obviously the good guys in all of this, except for letting loose that mask upon the city. Probably hundreds of people dead.
Yeah, speaking of the mass, perhaps we sell those today?
Mm-hmm.
Good call.
We could use
See,
the
Ruga?
coin.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. I concur.
Well, this is a picture of Ruga, by the way. He's a fellow of sort of a large mustache and piercings and often wears interesting headgear. And he has some makeup on and so on and manicured. He's fairly wealthy and eccentric chap. And he's got all sorts of knickknacks, sarcophaguses and sculptures. And like I said, shrunken heads and knickknacks like that. And you go to the street. Where is he on? He's on Cash Street? No, he's down on Barter Street. And there's also lots of other things in the city, of course, to see. And as you're going down, you can see the Grand Playhouse there is across from Ruga's Pawn House. And you see his storefront window area. And you go in and the little bell goes as the door opens and you come in and it smells of incense and old parchment and other exotic smells. You see the bare-chested bodyguard I forget his name at the moment. Big chap with an oiled beard and a large club. He eyes you though, and he recognizes Gryko, and gives a kind of a curt nod. And Ruga's behind the counter. Oh, hey, Gryko, my good big. Oh, I love your turban. Hey, I hear you're a prince now.
So he has no trouble seeing right through this disguise.
Well, he does know you.
Yeah,
that's
he does
true.
know me.
Actually, give me a roll. Are you gonna act it? Like you coming in as the prince? Let's do that because you could. Let's see if this works. If you can fool Ruga.
Yeah.
Ruga.
Oh, I totally fool him.
Oh yeah. What I do, we ham it up as well. Before Gryko goes inside, we make way for the Prince of Ilfmar.
Yes. Prince Regis Al Abd Filbin.
Oh.
Yeah, Batsu constantly keeps his head low, like he's hunched over, like he doesn't even look at his eyes.
And I, of course, am acting as the grand
Vizier.
the grand sort of the grand vizier under
My
employ of the prince.
vizier.
Oh, and Ruga, you see, he bows so low, you think his big belly touches the floor, and he's like, "Oh, my prince, it honors me to come to my humble store. May I interest you in perhaps a gold sarcophagus for the eventual day where your soul must go to the heavens?" And he starts going off, quick, and he smacks his hands, and this rather dainty kind of calamite comes in, carrying a tray with some little espresso kind of steamy goodness in there, and he offers, and you seem to have convinced him for the moment. What brings you to this my humble abode? Welcome to Ruga's Pawn.
Yes, I appreciate your hospitality. So, Ruga, my close personal friend, a bodyman that I had of hire, Gryko, suggested I come here, and that we may be able to do business in some ancient treasures from my home country.
Oh, of course. You do me honor. Come. Then he goes behind the counter and please. And he unrolls this little piece of vellum kind of, this black piece of vellum. He goes, "What would you be interested in? Some barter, perhaps? I do not know. Perhaps I cannot afford your extravagance." And he's eyeballing the gem in your turban.
Oh yes, which burns within it a fire of its own. Well, we shall see, my dear kind Ruga. And I'll clap my hands so that Batsu may bring forth the treasures from my home country.
Yes, I hold them above my head. Even my head is so low.
And I'm assuming the masks?
Yeah, the masks. I bring forward.
Breath goes through his mouth, and indeed, please, and you could put them on the tray, and he goes, he has this little kind of glass lens he pulls out, puts to his eye, and he looks up abruptly and gives you all a quick look because he's a pretty clever chap. I'm gonna give him another chance because he's like, "Do I not know you from somewhere else?" He's looking at the others a bit this time now. So now, Batsu, you've been he doesn't know you or anything. And actually, no, you guys are doing this pretty convincingly.
Yeah, I've never met this guy before.
I've actually never been in here either.
You wish to sell, perhaps?
Yes, I am interested in selling.
So I'll read a little caption here. The lamps still burn in the pawn shop of fat, jolly Ruga, and Ruga may tip the scales of a transaction from time to time, but he's interested in strange things and objects d'art. And Ruga has the skill for turning a blind eye to where those objects were found, or who owned them last.
Excellent.
As the pawn shop is still open, you might be able to turn some of the more esoteric items you've recovered into hard coin, which is far easier to buy a drink with in any case. Ruga's dusty shop is well lit by candle lanterns, but even these cannot dispel the shadows that linger around his shelves and cabinets, and here odd bits are pawned by the desperate, but even odder are the pieces in Ruga's special collection. and he proudly brings these out, objects which others might fear to deal with. And Ruga's wiry thug, his name is Bularo, sits silent guard on a stool in the corner, but he tips you with a slight nod, and fat Ruga beams at you and ushers you into his shop. He shows you a few little things, just to let you know kind of what he has. He has a silver-plated hands. They're a pair of skeletal hands, and appear to be bones plated with silver and held together with copper wires threaded through with tiny drill holes in small bones. They're said to be the preserved hands of a sorcerer. I got them from a merchant down on his luck, he said, and never could get them to do aught. But the hands are said to be key to buried treasure. You can have them both for 15 gold rilks. I also have this Scrimshaw Owl, and it's an owl roughly carved from a leviathan's tooth, he claims. Where it lit the halls of the great magicians, it is said that it can burn forever, given the right fuel. 3 iron ticks, and it's yours. And he goes on, there's a armillary sphere, a gear-driven device of wood and bronze with hand cranks that set the device to proper hour, day, and year. As you can see, there is an imminent conjunction between the green Echo and the whale star. The device is valued at 150 gold rilks, but for you, I could let it go for 125, perhaps 120. And you guys sold him, did one of you sell him that hookah?
No, we kept the hookah in the room.
Oh, because he's got another bejeweled hookah here. I was going to say if you had sold that one, he would have had it there. But he has another one, bejeweled hookah there. And this gem-covered hookah bought from a trader in the Plaza of Dark Delights. I was somewhat distracted at the time of transaction. 5 Smirnoks, and it's yours. And he goes on. So he seems convinced that you're here and you got a lot of money. And he's going into salesman mode to the prince.
Yes, and I'll feign interest as an idle prince that I am.
Your little friend suddenly curls up in the vellum, and you see it roll up when Ruga's not really looking.
Okay. Yeah, I got to get her out of there. Rasuli.
Getting bored.
Yeah, she was getting bored.
Jim Bob, you want to do anything? And he says, but I will give you, for a prince, I will give you 100 gold rilks each for the masks.
And I shall. And what would my vizier say at such a low price?
I take a handful of rocks that I grabbed from outside on the street, and I shake them up in my hand, and I look down at my palm and then back at the prince and just gravely shake my head.
Nice. I'll give you a fleeting luck point there. I apologize, sire. Of course, what do you offer? I'm a reasonable man.
Yeah, I mean, we know these as having a value of 200, right?
Oh, Niels does the old bit of a cough. Oh, yes. Well, that is a high number indeed. A high number indeed. What say we meet somewhere a little lower down below, perhaps? And what do you say? Now, you can also decide to try to convince him, or you can intimidate, or you could, you know what I mean? And then I could get an appropriate role in this case.
Yeah. So, so there's a couple of things. Like, so Ruga did show us some stuff, Darren. So, was there something there that we thought would be useful? I mean, none of those things are for a warrior, but was there anything that we saw, Jim or Bob, that you thought might be useful?
He did have a couple capes and wigs.
All right.
And props and stuff that you noticed. You look around the shop, he has like a bit of a wardrobe area for different props, wigs, different accessories you can carry, and canes and things.
Canes. I would be interested in getting a little costume.
Yeah, that's okay. All right.
Ah, of course. May not have known, but I sometimes supply props and such for the local theaters. I get my hands on things they look for, you see. Um, and yeah, sometimes they come here for wigs and so on, and canes, yes. And something in particular.
Yes, sir. I'm looking for wigs. I'm looking for capes. I'm looking for um what is there like does he have any like purple capes and like a purple suit of some sort?
Ah, hmm. I do happen to have something here you may find interesting. It was brought in from the cities of the eight cities, land of the eight cities. It's one of the strange French cities, sort of influence from the east, you see. And he shows you this getup, and it's sort of a onesie without the arms, and then it's sort of got frills around the legs, sort of bell bottoms,
Oh.
and it's kind of pimp mode.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking
It's
for.
sort of velvety, right? And it's got, it's actually almost up there with Jim's outfit. Jim's got a different
Almost.
style. Jim's more kind of arcane and necromancy sort of way, whereas yours is more street flash.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like the
Oh,
pimp outfit with the
oh,
cane and everything.
these are real white rhinestones. He goes and he rubs them. He goes, 15 rilks. It is yours. There's much jewelry already on it in that wealth.
Mm, can you make me a deal if we throw in the cane and a nice hat as well and a cape?
Ah, of course, of course. And perhaps a wig? And he's got,
Yes, a wig as well. Something straight and black.
of course, we shall see. And he could set you up with a cane, and it's a very nice cane. It's like made from this black wood, and at the end, it's got like some sort of like vulture's claw grabbing a
Oh.
glass sphere.
Hmm.
And he goes, "That was owned by a wizard once, you know. I could never get it to work though. But perhaps you'll have luck. But it's worth lots. That I won't sell for less than 300 rilks." And he gives you what kind of a ooh look. And
And
that was like
I
a lot of money. You're just like, what?
uh,
Because he brought it
I'll,
out, this cane.
I'll sort of tap Greco on the shoulder while the other two are talking, and I will because I'm going along with it. Your Majesty, I feel like if you offer 120 rilks per mask, it may show us a sign of good faith to Ruga. We may lose a bit of money in the transaction, but we may gain a powerful ally.
Indeed,
Ruga's
I
sipping his
agree.
little, eyeballing you shrewdly, and he's sipping his little espresso cup. It's pretty tasty. It's a strong Eastern bitter.
no, no, sir. Please, I cannot do that. That is too much. Regular cane. Uh, Something for day-to-day use.
Ah, day-to-day use. Like, was it the cane wise, you mean?
Yeah, cane. Yes.
Ah, how about, and he has other more simpler ones, and he almost looks a little bit disappointed. He's like, oh, of course, of course.
I
And
like
he
the
has,
accents. Maybe something unique on the top. Maybe something cool.
hmm, he has a series. He probably has about 8 different canes to choose from, and they have different made from different woods and such. The most elaborate one being perhaps some ivory on the top straight
Oh,
handle.
oh, yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I'll. What did he say for the whole getup? What 30? 30 good?
Oh, well, that is real ivory. I would need at least 40.
Very well. 40 is fine. I can do
Oh,
40.
excellent. His pudgy hands go back and forth, and you want to put on the suit right now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is your name, good sir?
My name is he Betsy kind of looks both ways. He says, "Oots tab,
A what?
oots tab.
Oots
I am
tab.
from a very far away place."
Yes, you are a Mingle, of course.
Yes.
And you, good sir, he looks at the prince again. So, you wish to sell the mass? I'm very interested. They are a hot item, of course. They're from some old antiquity. I'm curious where you got them, of course, but say no more, right?
Indeed, indeed. They are from decayed members of my family. Let's just say it that way. And they bring me no pleasure anymore. Yeah, so they are valued at 200, but you are I can tell, you are someone I would like to do business with in the future. And you have treated my manservant well. I'm willing to let these go for 120 apiece, with the idea that perhaps next time I bring in treasure of such fabulosity, that perhaps you will meet my price next time.
Deal, my friend. Deal, my friend. I tell you what, for being such a good sport, I will put in a bottle of Eastern brew. And
you are too kind.
Pulls out this little Mickey of red glass with this liquid in it. But be careful. I recommend you take one shot and enjoy yourself, and take 2 shots if you want to go to the moon, eh?
That is awesome. That is fabulous.
And there's probably I don't know, there's probably about 7 shots in there. And
So
I have to look up the name again, but it's an actual, some of these brews,
Yeah.
And you roll in metagame, because we haven't done this quite yet, but some of these, if you want, you can push your luck, and then you roll, and if you make you fail a fortitude save, then you get bad trip, and if you succeed, you get a good trip, and the wizards could possibly get bonuses, like a die bonus to their spell checks and stuff for a day. As they're doing this tripping out, like, wow, I'm into this, right? Right? And so on. Or you could trip right out and say, the spiders, and fall in your face. Depends. There's mushroom wine is one, more famous, which is basically fermented mushrooms in this big juice, and it's alcoholic and magic mushrooms, basically.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Now the door bangs open. Or it doesn't bang open. Well, it opens briskly, the little bell ding, ding, and you see Burl kind of gets up from his chair a bit because he's a bit startled. He was he was intrigued with the show and everything, and the haggling, and Giroux was just finishing handing over the money. He was just and taking the masks, right? Deal, and he shakes your hand. Excellent, we are friends then. Yes, you're welcome anytime. And then he's cut off. His door opens. Look over, and he goes, "Oh, it is my friend Jallo." And he waves, and Jallo waves back. And Jallo is a guy in his 40s, it appears. He's dark hair, dark beard that's oiled and braided, and he's got powdered face, and there's makeup pretty heavy, and he's wearing kind of a silk toga, and it's all quite elegant. And he recognized maybe it looks kind of, or sort of like an actor or something, that sort of look. And but he's a bit pudgy, and he's a wart face, not the prettiest guy, but he's like, Ruga, this is good timing. They look perfect. The rumors said it must be them. Oh, good sirs and madames, have you a moment to discuss a business matter guaranteed to swell your coin purses and alleviate the worries of a humble mummer? And you're all taken back, like,
I look down at the rocks, juggle them in my hand for a moment, and nod solemnly to Gryko. He may continue.
And Ruga is just like, what is it, Jalo? Hold on.
Very well.
We were just finishing business here. Oh, go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, that was it. I was just going to go, very well.
And Ruga's kind of listening, but curiously, and he turns and he goes, "Ah, I apologize, my friend Ruga, but I'm looking for. We're desperate, and I'm looking for help. I will pay good. My troubles are this, good friends. I'm the leader of a noble troupe of mummers and actors known as the Dumb Sweet Players. We provide the less fortunate masses of our fair city with brief diversions from the cares of their daily lives while dispensing kernels of truth wrapped in pleasing guises. Is it an honest living for an actor, even if it is not an honorable one? But as of late, my troupe and I have achieved an unexpected deal of success and renown thanks to our latest play, The Fiasco of Duke Hogfat. The show has proven to be popular with not only the humble residents of Lankhmar's slums and tenements, but also amongst the craftsmen, merchants, and soldiery. In fact, our performances have even been attended by veiled and hooded nobles come to laugh at our mockery of a certain pompous noble whom we skewer like a forest boar with our barbs and observations. And it is there that my troubles lie. Duke Borvat, the noble that played Deflates, has learned of our show and means to scotch it. His guardsman visits us this morn with the ultimatum that unless we cancel all performances, the Duke intends to see both play and players ended permanently. I have no doubt the Duke will attempt to make good on his threat. Having put the matter to my fellow performers, we vowed that the show must continue. To this end, we seek valiant worthies to serve as our benefactors and spear carriers, men and women fearless enough to be watch over us as we entertain and prevent the Duke's men from carrying out their threats. Would you be these armed angels whose sword-bearing benefactors? He pauses dramatically in this speech. And he's impressive. You guys are just like, whoa. We can pay. He tips at the end.
Well, I like the sound of that.
While I do not care for those who pretend to be something they are not, I also do not condone the actions of those who cannot enjoy a little mummery. This Duke Borfet sounds wretched. I shall not allow harm to come to you. I offer the services of the Prince Regis Al Abd Filbin.
Oh, you honor us. I have heard of you, the prince. Ah, it is true then. Ah, we are smiled upon, the gods of Lankhmar. And he bows at the prince, and Ruga bows automatically again, and everybody kind of bows. Excellent work, excellent. So we must start soon as possible. I will take you back to the Marshlight Theater in the Mummer's Court so that you can see for yourselves our facility and do what you can to get it ready. The show is tonight, in 4 hours, in fact. The curtain is drawn on Act 1.
Indeed.
Lead the way.
Yeah, and you see now for the that coiled up piece of vellum. Now I'm not sure who else noticed that, but you've seen strange things going around with Graxu, right? Obviously, Creel and Batsu.
Yeah, I've stopped asking questions.
It's like, and you see now that the vellum sheet kind of goes up like flutters like it's a ghost or something, and then it draws back down to the counter, and Ruga's kind of like, he's drawn back and he's going, oh, that is very strange. So, you are truly heroes, a prince too. Oh, he's so smashing. And you each get one more fleeting luck point for this all falling into place, I suppose. So you guys all agree to do this out of the cuff, and you're kind of, what the heck? It seems like it was meant to be.
Yes, we have nothing else going on today, right?
Indeed.
That's as good a reason as any. I shall have to consult with the sacred stones, but I believe it is in our best interests.
So,
Or my name isn't Oberon, the Grand Vizier of the 76th Prince of Ilthmar.
Yes.
cheers.
Also one who despises those who pretense.
Excellent. So Ruga is just like, he's just beaming and smiling. He's got a good deal he did, and he sees you off and he gives you that bottle and he's like, you take care of that and use it sparingly, right? And anything else you guys see before you go? And anyone else want a wig or a cloak or some accessory? Bling?
I'm set up.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I have no money.
Why, he probably would throw it in if you needed a wig or something.
No, I eventually want to get a cool staff, but I'm quite set up for clothes.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
Yeah, and that walking stick for 300 grilks. That was a nice one. Perhaps may want to come back for that. Now, so this character, Jallo, he seems an affable fellow, and he seems to have these personas, and he's always seems to be putting on a show and doing a speech, it seems, but he seems genuine though, and even though you notice there are some patches in his meticulous kind of toga and whatnot, and there is a bit of crudeness to the makeup and so on, you can tell he's not from perhaps the highest place. And sure enough, as he leads you in toward the Plaza District, which is, he heads into the district that is south of the Plaza of Dark Delights. This theater, oh, where did I put it on this thing again? Give me a moment. Now, you don't have far to go, actually. As he leads you, only about a city block and a half. So for the moment, you guys, if you don't flash around your faces too much and so forth, you're actually pulling off your little entourage pretty well. That'll gain other attention.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so for the moment, he leads you into the Plaza District, and it's more of the middle class area, lower class, and slummy area though. But there are a few shops, and then he takes down a back alley, and it starts to get a bit gungy and dirty. And one moment here. So he escorts you to the Marshlight Theater on the Mummers Court so that you can have a look. And I'm trying to find where I had it here. The Marshlight Theater butts a circular courtyard down one of the Lankhmar's many side streets. There's a single thoroughfare that allows entry to the court, basically kind of from the front, a wide area with a plaza. But the numerous alleys and buildings allow foot traffic to move around the actual building itself and allow entry from other places. It's sort of a typical Lankhmar plaza. There's decrepit-looking tenements, many former warehouses encircle the plaza, and the Marshlight Theater stands on a northern edge of the court, and a public well is in the center of the court. Now, during the day, and the day's sort of wrapping up now, it's getting a late day, there's many poor actors and performers busk around the well, and is earning a few coins and honing their art. And so you see some people juggling, and you see some clowns, dressed up, mummers and so on, doing some mime perhaps. There's some vendors that are starting to show up and set up and for the evening, and other people selling merchandise. It's kind of like an Eastern European market / plaza. And then he comes over and he gestures dramatically as you enter the plaza. The Marshlight Theater, you can tell, began as a warehouse and it fell into disuse. And then some landlord, it appears, he took the building and he refurbished it into what would be a theater. And this character, Jalou, and his, what does he call himself again? Okay, Jallo of the Ratskitter Court, that's his name, is the leader of one of the Lankhmar's troops of actors, mummers, and dancers in street performance, a band of troubadours known as the Dung Sweep Players. Jallo and his fellow Dung Sweep eke out their meager living, and he's telling you about this as you were walking down the street. And he says, we entertain Lankhmar's lower classes, providing an afternoon's diversion from the harsh realities of life in the slums. And in addition to entertainment, mostly in the form of comedic plays and sensual dances and violent slapstick. The Dung Sweep Players insert kind of social messages into their message you've heard, and that's made them quite popular because they've been poking fun at their betters. And that's, of course, caused this problem. And the last, Duke Borvat is the last nobleman who was very angry, and he demanded they shut it down. The Fiasco of Duke Hogfact is what the play is called, and it's basically a lampoon of the Duke. Maybe even heard about it, perhaps. I'm going to move the map here in a moment. And give me a moment. I just have to clear up a couple things. Ended up having a busy day at work a bit, but no excuse. All right, so. Oh, actually ignore the bottom part. Actually, what I'll do is do this. All right, can you see the new map?
Yes.
Oh, yep, I see it.
Indeed.
Now yes, this is the Mummers Court Theater, and outside the plaza here is where that head is, and the front lobby area where the two doors enter the area. Two doorways lead from the outside into the bare hall, and he brings you into the main doors, and there's sawdust covers the plank floor, and shabby whitewash adorns the walls. Two sets of stairs lead up to a balcony overlooking the hall, while a wide corridor exits the room to the north. Yeah, okay, leading to the theater's interior. A single door is set into the side of each staircase, possibly leading backstage or to other restricted areas of the building. So he brings you to the front lobby area, and it's just being kind of cleared out. There's a few people walking around. There's a couple people, doormen, and he waves to them, and he goes, that of course is Jezebel and Darby. They'll be running the door until they do their acts, and you kind of wave, and he takes you to the interior area. Takes you on a quick tour. You go up these stairs here. He takes you up these stairs, and he goes, "Let me show you around." And into this archway, it leads you into this upper balcony area. Down below is a pit, and you get to the pit by going through that tunnel. You see that?
Yeah.
And then but he doesn't go that way. Oh, shoot. Pardon me. He takes you, oh, I just moved everything, didn't I? There we go. Let me change that. Okay. He takes you out into this balcony here, and that area 1-3 is the regular seating. So these three sides of the theater interior are occupied by backless benches crammed together on tiers. The benches are scuffed and splintered and look generally uncomfortable to sit on, and in places support pillars obstruct the view of the stage. Aisles end in short ramps lead from these sections to each of the nobles seating below. So the 1-3, the three sections are the highest up, and kind of nosebleed sections for the lower class. And then the 1.2 is the lower tier, and you can see that several rows of low-backed benches, barring faded, tattered upholstered seats overlook the pit below and provide an unobstructed view of the stage beyond. Those are the best seats, actually, the 1-2. And there's only accessible from the two ramps coming down from 1-3. Now below is the pit, and he gestures down. And he goes, and then open area of dirty timber floor stands in front of the stage. And during performances, those purchasing the cheapest admission occupy this space. Their rowdy nature is attested to by the old blood and wine stains that discolor the floorboards. So this can turn into a mosh pit or mob area, but it's for the rabble. It's for the very lowest low. You pay like a tick to get into there, basically.
And you don't get a seat for your trouble. Standing room
No,
only.
just standing room. And so he leaves that area. He takes you back down the stairs, and he actually walks you through the pit, and he kind of wrinkles his nose at the pit, and he goes, "Oh, you must excuse me. You must excuse me." Oh no, pardon me. He doesn't go through the pit. He goes to the side wing. You see this doorway here? There's one on either side. And it goes down 1-5, which is a long hallway. and that the long corridor leads straight toward the rear of the building, and the hallway ends at a short flight of rising stairs that stop at a closed door up there. And a line of windows set 15 feet up in the theater's exterior walls allow wan sunlight to shine through the barred openings and light the corridor. At night, torches set in sconces banish the darkness. A number of faded and torn theatrical broadsides cling to the brick walls. Now, I'm giving you some of this detail just because he's pointing these things out because he's like, so you'll be guarding everything and making sure the premises are secure and our bodies are in your hands, so to speak. And he goes to this little door and he opens it into 1-7. And 1-7 is dim, unadorned spaces on either side of the stage serve as the waiting places for performers during their scenes. A network of ropes and pulleys line the walls, connecting to the theatrical rigging on the catwalk above. Doors and archways lead to the other sections of the theater. So you head into here, you see this ladder, it goes up into what would be the fly loft area, which is actually catwalks and so on, and typical big theater, all sorts of pulleys and counterweights and locks and so on. There's people moving around, they're moving props. Now you can, and he's pointing out and he goes, and he waves, and this is Humphrey Gilbert. And you see this old fat kind of man, and he's looks like the old classical thespian. And he's, I say, good chap, I'm getting ready for the show. I think I got my lines already. And he stumbles off and he's busy in his own way. And he's pointing out different names, and he goes, Patsy Kuban. She works with Sophia Leben. They're very talented actresses. They'll be in tonight's play. That is Bobby Joe, Cinderella, and Trankine, the dancers. And you can see there's 3 girls dancing on the stage at the moment. They're rehearsing last-minute rehearsals, and they're doing these kind of corny sort of burlesque sort of dance. It's pretty raunchy. They're flashing a lot of skin and just sort of, taunting and sexual innuendo, you notice, and you're just, you might be kind of like, distracted for the moment. But that, of course, the main stage, and he's pointing, and he's kind of laughing, he beams, aren't they precious? They're beautiful, aren't they? A simple, well-worn stage dominates the end of the theater. The plain curtain of old sailcloth dyed deep blue is currently raised by fraying ropes. At the rear of the stage are 3 doors, a common feature in Lankhmar plays, and used by the performance entering or departing the scene. So those 3 entrances, of course, that's the style, Shakespearean style. And to enter and exit, you just also walk in through this entrance in the back and assume your role. And he points around. There's people moving around. There's props being set up, and you're a bit impressed. You can see it's pretty hustle and bustle. And you look up in the catwalk, and you see a couple young guys and an older guy way up there moving some gear. They must be the hands. And I'll sum up my bit here in a moment, and I'll let you guys take over. There are trapdoors in the stage made for various purposes, right? Theatrical and practical, utilitarian. And they come from ladders in the cellar, just so you know. And he points that out. He goes, those go down to the cellar and they're used for actors and other props and things, and sometimes not used, but because you pointed it out, there's trapdoors there. And on the other side, go ahead.
Are they being used in this play tonight?
No. I'll have to double check. He goes, they hadn't been used for a while. I'll have to double check. Let me get back. I'll talk to the director. And then he takes you backstage. He goes in one of those entrances, and again, you see all sorts of weird gaudy props. So like crazy headgear, and outrageous cod pieces. You know what I mean? Fake tits and butts, just to be blunt, and all sorts of ridiculous things. And you can tell this is going to be quite a lampoon. You think you see an ape costume, by the way. She's like, whoa, amongst many others. And there's people looking at you curiously, but everybody seems to wave at you and say, hello, hey, excellent. And Jello, in a moment, I will introduce you. And he takes you backstage, and there's a dim, unadorned, I'm almost done, guys. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. There's dim, unadorned spaces on either side of the stage serve as waiting. Oh, no, that was 1-7. Yeah, backstage. So all 3 of those are like backstage areas where that's sort of the same genre. There's doors and archways. Now there's also doors that go outside. Jalot points those out, and he goes, yeah, they go to the back alleys and for deliveries and such, and where actors and stuff leave and come. 1-8 is wardrobe. A small room contains a variety of costumes in various stages of repair. Racks filled with actors' garb and wooden heads bearing wigs fill the rest of the room. And then 1-9 is the troop office. And this battered blackened iron lock seals this door tight. And he goes up and he pulls out this key. And he goes, but I have the key for this door. And it has my office, my files, and of course, he whispers, the strong box, of course. We'll be soon the rabble will be entering in pain and the money will be coming in. They usually start coming in a couple hours before the show, and we start to show them the pre-shows, right? For about an hour and a half, juggling and dancing and such. And then it's usually full by showtime. And so that is part of your responsibility. Of course, this room is secure. But we don't fear so much for our wealth, more for our bodies, of course. What else is there? And he points up at the loft and he goes, of course, you will be allowed to go anywhere you wish at any time, but please do not interrupt the play and be aware that any noises or interruptions will make the crowd very anxious.
We'll do our best to be as discreet as possible, sir.
You may go down in the cellar if you wish. There is a delivery door downstairs, by the way. You must know of another way to get in, I suppose. Oh, you may want to go up in the loft and check out. I think we do have windows up there for ventilation. It gets very hot when this place is full.
Are you expecting people to come in through the this basement cellar delivery door tonight?
No, it should be locked. We do not use it.
All right.
Then he's stroking his beard, his oiled beard. Now, we must have a glass of wine, but first, let me introduce you. And he brings you out on the stage, and he gives this quick clap of his hands. And people are kind of curiously looking, and people that can are too busy or kind of come, and you kind of almost feel like blushing a little bit. And Jello goes, everybody, our heroes are here. It is a prince and his troop. They travel the land helping us, people like us. And everyone's like, and they're all giving this clap. And you hear this speech, kind of yelled out once in a while. And he goes, yes, Jello. Anything you would like to say? These are our guests and our bodyguards tonight. They can be anywhere, do anything. Help them if you can. And everyone kind of smiles and laughs, and they seem quite pleased. And he names off a bunch of names. Ethab, and he goes up and he kisses this on both cheeks, this what appears to be this aging diva, and she's just like, oh, I say, and she's like complete diva. And there's Sophia Leben, this pretty hot but untalented, it says, pretty but untalented star.
What's her name?
Sophia Leben.
Okay.
A lot of these are kind of puns off of movie stars.
Yeah, they better not be making fun of Sophia Loren. Sons of bitches.
There's Humphrey Gilbert, and he's the old thespian. He has a drink in his hand, like growing out of his hand. You can tell it's like part of him. This glass he's sipping on. He's like Shakespearean actor, an old washed up, but of course doesn't say that. There's Botham Toole, and he's this kind of buff dude. He's like the Flash Gordon you used to notice. This Botham Toole, the action hero, and he's handsome, and his hair is just done, and and he looks like Flash Gordon. There's Tris Barley.
Looking into a mirror.
Hey, yeah, he's classic, handsome dingbat. You sense a bit of a dingbat, maybe. I don't know. And there's Tris Barley, and he's this jovial, rotund guy, and just off the walls, kind of energetic. And he comes up and pumps your hands, and all right, pleased to meet you. And he bounces around, old Tris Barley. Patsy Kuman, yeah, goes on. There's Cosmo the Black. He's a magician, Jim. But more the magician, like cutting women in half in boxes and stuff.
It's what I've always wanted to do.
You sense, you know what I mean, right? And he claims
Oh,
to
for
be a
sure.
member of the Sorcerers Guild, of course. Jezebela the juggler, and you saw him out in the plaza earlier, and he came in, and he's a good juggler apparently. There's Darby and Jewel, the Acrobats, and they're twins, Darby and Jewel, and they're contortionist acrobats. These two women, and they do their thing. And then there's Bobby Joe, Cinderella, and Tankane, who are the burlesque dancers. And there's stagehands Tommy, Adrian, Samuel, and Pinhead. And there's Candy the drag, who is the makeup artist. Okay.
It's a pleasure to meet you all.
Yeah. So you guys want to say or do anything? As he goes around, he introduces you all, and they're all just like, so our heroes, oh, and they looked nervous too, though. You can tell there was tension, nervousness, going around. And there's a lot of relief, like they're just like, oh, you will save us, the Duke, and there's mutterings of a bit of the Duke, and Jalo's like, I'm afraid they are right. After they all start to peter and go back to their chores and stuff. Now I'm going to give you guys the floor for a while. Jalo, he thinks that you guys are going to keep the building secure and them safe, and that the show will go on. That's his biggest concern. He always says that, the show will go on. It will go on. He seems almost obsessed with that.
Okay.
Oh, any questions or any immediate things that you want to notice or ask about? And he shows you all the windows, the entrances that he knows of, and so on.
I am curious to know if he has any weapon, if there are any weapons in this place, in the building.
Oh, we have props, but nothing real. Some
I want to
scissors
inspect these props before anything. I just want to inspect all the props and make sure they are all actually fake.
Oh yeah.
And I was just going to mention as well, whenever we have a moment alone with him, I'd ask, do you believe that any of your actors may be on the side of the Duke?
Never. And he just looks like he's smitten. He's just never. My troop is loyal and professional, and I can attest to that. I would not think of it.
That's
He
good.
seems like, yeah. But I must attend to my duties soon. You may help yourself as well to the caterers will be arriving soon to feed everybody. It is not noblest of fare, but it does do the trick, and there is some ale and wine available too.
And do we know where the Duke's residence is? Is it in town?
Oh
In
yeah,
Lankhmar?
yeah, it's Noble District.
All
right.
Let's go kick his ass. No,
Let's just go kick his ass.
Well, so I'm wondering, like, is he going to come, with a whole bunch of dudes or not? Does he have a standing force of any kind?
Every noble family usually has household guards and mercenaries is not uncommon.
Well, so yeah, I mean, so that's kind of what I'm interested in ascertaining. If if he's hired a bunch of mercenaries.
Yeah, Jalos fears that he may do something violent, but he realizes as well that he must keep the peace. He must try to keep the peace, but he is a very angry man. He may try something violent, but I think he's up to something else. He will try.
Yeah, so he's suspecting that it's more of a skullduggery that's going to be committed here, and not an outright storming of the stage or something.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A question: who is your brightest star? Who do you consider your brightest star? Who do you treasure the most?
Well, that would be, of course, Sophia Leben and Etheb. It depends which of one of them you ask. They are like cats in an alley. If the two of them are in the same room, look out.
Excellent.
Well, then who plays the
They're
part
good.
of Duke Hogfat?
That of course is that is Humphrey Gilbert.
Okay. We should look into those three.
Yeah, are you suspecting that that's where he'll try and take one of them out, or all three of them?
Yeah,
out?
that's what I'm.
The Duke has a right-hand man named Demon. Dimmon. Demon?
A bad omen about that name.
A ruthless man. Yes, a ruthless man.
So yeah, so he could try and poison them, or some sort of
yes,
other
we
attack.
must watch the caterers. I will test all the food that the caterers bring in.
I'm testing the food right now. That's why I'm muted.
Indeed.
I mentioned 4 hours, by the way. It took about an hour for him to give you the tour and introduce and chat. So you'll have about 3 hours. People will start showing up in about an hour, he said. And they'll start filling up. And they're still getting stage ready and stuff. And people are starting to put on some makeup and stuff, but it's pretty early still. He says that you can hang out if like anywhere backstage, of course. You can go anywhere you want. You can stay as a group. You can split up. You can post up anywhere. Any precautions you want to take. And I'll speed time along as soon as I'll say, okay, so hour 3. Tell me what you're doing hour 3. 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Right. Okay, guys. Well, to start off, Frank, how much gold did I get from the selling of the masks? What was my cut?
I think we had 4 masks. Right?
Yeah, 4. Yeah. That we were selling.
I think we each got 160.
I had actually taken 2 of the masks as my sort of cut. I had told you, I was like, yeah, you guys can have the rest as your fee sort of thing.
Yeah, so
right,
we had
right, yeah.
4 masks to sell. Yeah. So
that's
we each got
240. Right?
We got 160. Because I think we sold for 120 a piece.
Yeah, so that would be 240 because we're just splitting it down the half, me and you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was splitting it 3 ways. Yeah. You're right. Okay. I see what Creel's saying.
Oh, I asked because I don't have any ranged weaponry, and I think Batu desperately needs one for this, just in case. Because I kind of like when the actual play happens, I think I might want to be in the fly loft. I might want to set up there.
Okay.
That's kind of my plan.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that sounds good.
So I need to go run and get a crossbow.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be back.
I will go into the basement and ensure that the delivery door is locked and everything. And I'm going to get ready here. I'm just quickly scarfing down some food, but I'm going to cast some spells and make sure that nobody can actually get in here.
And give me a couple moments. I'm going to get some avatars out. So take a few moments and think about what you want to do. Show's in a couple hours now, and you're going to be in the basement, and so on. You're going to check out the loft, see how secure it is, and so on. And Gryko, what are you doing this hour? Just
double check that the food's coming from known vendors that the usual crew kind of a thing. And then so how does the Duke have tickets for tonight's show?
No, he doesn't. You just buy at the door in this case, I think.
Okay.
No, you can get advanced tickets actually, but they don't take it by name. You just, probably buy a little chit or something.
Okay, so we wouldn't know how many people he might be bringing.
No, and
we'll know soon enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, would he really show up? He himself?
It depends on what he's trying to do. But I mean, so, we're told, I guess, that he wouldn't want to do something vulgar and disturb everything. But maybe he does.
Could be.
Maybe just Trump, and then just bursts in. It's happened. Okay, that sounds fine. Okay. Let's see. We check the props to double check that anything that's supposed to collapse. I don't know. I guess I'll talk. Do we want to go over the script and see if there's any particular piece of the script that looks like somebody might try something?
Script's kind of, well, I suppose I could show you the script. So you could spend an hour skimming over the script, and they're a bit reluctant to show script to outsiders, sort of, but I suppose it's security reasons. Yeah.
If I saw the show, I would know what was going on.
So you get a bit of a yuck and a giggle as you skim through it. It's a silly farce, a lot of slapstick. It involves basically making this, the premise is this Duke acting this boorish drunk gets suckered in every way by his wife who's having an affair, and he ends up sleeping with an ape apparently at some point. And it's you don't have time to get in too much detail, but you get a snicker, but you can tell why the Duke's pissed. You're like, oh, I see.
You got monkey cucked.
And all, yeah, it gets really.
Yeah, that's the worst kind of cuck.
I think it is.
Oh yeah, and it's funny. You're chuckling, and I suppose you could tell the others a bit about it if you wish. And an hour ticks by. So down in the basement, Jim. Give me 1 second. The stair to the delivery door indeed hasn't. 111. Let me double check because I remember reading it earlier.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, do you mind if I just hop out for a sec? I'm gonna run to the bathroom and then I'll be back.
Okay, we'll take a.
Yeah, I guess my other concern is I don't want to turn this, place into a fire trap, right? But we do have the back doors. We do have the crowd. I guess I could be back in the rear 1-7 area. Because originally I was thinking I'd be, in the like 1-2 area. But it seems like I could get to there if I was in the back 1-7 section. I could just run across the stage if I had to.
Yeah. When it's showtime and so on, and you could be mobile or stationary, of course. Yeah. No, that's a good idea. And
yeah,
there's only 3 of you, so keeping
busy. That's the issue. So because I do think it's a good idea for Batsu to be like up in the fly lofts area. Or does the fly loft area have visibility beyond the stage, or is it just the stage?
Just the stage. It's sort of cut off, like at the top of the.
Yeah, so you can.
I still think it would be worth it because I think the
you have a good view.
Going to be the main target. I'd like to be able to see there.
No, I agree with you. I was just kind of curious what sort of vantage you'd have, because it's definitely not bad for you to have to see the stage. Because then if what we're worried about is somebody climbing on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can just put a bolt right through the top of their head.
Yeah.
So, I was just curious if you could also see into the pit and the other areas?
I have a plan for that. I have a plan for that. I have a plan for the pit.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to. I'm going to.
But sorry to interrupt, Frank. Razzuli's gone.
What again?
Yeah, just took off again. Just go on, no, good. But you notice that because he's usually fucking around somewhere close by, right? You
I
realize
have
that
returned.
women can see her. You remember?
Uh,
Or maybe you don't know that
okay.
yet.
So yeah, maybe I. So well, I kind of assumed that. So it's actually more like I realized that other people can't see her. So she's kind of invisible but not to women.
Yeah.
So I kind of have all kinds of stuff going on right now.
Uh-huh.
I have a prince and who's been
And
exiled.
people are bowing to you and stuff. Like everyone thinks you're a prince. As long and anyway, yeah, people are
Yeah.
oh, Your Majesty and curtsying. Oh.
Yes.
So
Go
Jallo, he
on.
moves around, and when he sees you, he nods. Oh, can I get you anything? He's helpful, but he's busy. You see the show's getting busy now. You kind of find you have to kind of stand out of the way once in a while as somebody's like, oh, excuse me, as they're moving some crop and so on. And it's kind of exciting. There's a excitement in the air. People are a bit scared. You notice, as I said, though, trepidation. That mixture.
Yeah, there's a
Uh,
little tension and stuff. Yeah.
there's about an hour to go now. We're on the last hour, let's say. You guys have an hour to do anything left. Now, Jim, I was going to talk to you briefly about thing.
Yes.
There are a few early people coming in, and there's a pre-act going on now. It's going to start pretty soon. Oh, Christ's sake, where is just... Okay, a dusty brick-walled cellar resides beneath the theater, and there's thick wooden supports rise to meet the timber ceiling above. There's a pair of ladders connecting the stage, trapdoors overhead, and a flight of stone stairs leads to an angled delivery door exiting in the alley alongside the building. A second staircase leads from the stage area that you came down from the theater. There's some pieces of old dusty scenery and set dressing left over from previous occupants of the Marshlight. Oh, this is called the Marshlight Theater. Pardon me, this actual theater is called the Marshlight Theater. The delivery doors are thick wooden doors set at an angle in the base of the theater's foundation. And as I said, they open at an angle into the alley. He mentioned he didn't even have a key to this lock.
Yeah.
It's an old and rusty lock. Looks like it hasn't been used for years.
That is why I'm casting a spell.
Oh.
There's actually, I'm just going to double check something quick. I think there might be a better spell to use, but.
Excellent. So you're down there doing your sorcery.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody with you or anything? You're alone down here.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really use the cellar for much of them. Old storage. Meanwhile, upstairs, Gryko, you're walking around and you were just getting acquainted with the place, I'm assuming. And you're getting to know the actors and stuff. Most of them are, like I said, very approachable. They're deferred and they're eager and happy because they realize you're their saviors.
Yeah. So and I'm looking for anything unusual. I'm asking them if they've noticed anything unusual, anything like that, or anyone lurking or anything like that.
They kind of they shrug, and some of them mention that a lot of them don't have. Most of them made the connection with the Duke is their enemy and stuff, but a couple are a bit clueless. Sophia Leben just doesn't seem to care about much beyond her hair. Humphrey, he walks and talks to you for a bit, but he's slurring already. You can tell he's pretty drunk, and it's probably why he's working this low theater, right? You can tell at one point he had a reputation as like a Shakespearean actor in the Noble District and so on. Humphrey, and he's an affable fellow and forgets himself and might have pissed himself a bit.
I was gonna cast the runic alphabet again and burn some luck and call upon, or no, I'm not gonna call upon shield bow right off the bat. I'm just gonna do some luck burning, see how it goes.
Sure.
And
you have the spell ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys obviously can't tell, but I'll know that my my butt is again becoming scaly as I cast the spell.
Right. I know. It's dry.
Nice. Wow, that's a lot better than I thought. I'm glad I didn't actually do
How'd it
any
go?
harsh burning. I got a 29. I had what I wanted, but I'm gonna check and see what.
That's impressive, though.
Yeah. No, so this is I'm gonna use the same blocking spell around this door that we did in the temple.
Right. Ooh,
So I'm gonna carve
impressive.
these intricate runes on the inside of the theater's doors, and yeah, just make it so that nobody can move through.
Oh, wow. And then, so read out exactly the effect and how long will that work for? That's a long time, right?
Yeah, just a moment. Okay, I passed it.
I might have to know eventually if that becomes a factor. So you spend a bit of time. It doesn't take you long to cast that spell, but it goes very well. Oh.
Creatures up to man-sized are unable to pass through or by the target door, window, portal, or inanimate object. Will save resists, but they have to roll over 29 to get through.
Oh, wow.
And I think, yeah, it says that it's, yeah, I think the way it's worded, because it's like someone has to actually beat that in order to get through.
Yeah.
I don't think like it's a one-shot deal and done.
Yeah, it's a will save. Like it's just
Yeah.
I mean, they could probably wait a day or something, or like a rest period and try again.
Yeah, exactly.
Or is it every turn? But unless it says, if you were a player, you'd probably try every turn or something. A player
Oh,
would,
for sure.
like maybe. But anyway, so last hour's wrapping up. Anyone else want to do anything? And you're up in the loft.
Batsu does do a couple things.
Oh yeah.
During the meantime while all this is going on. So he goes out, he pretty much leaves right away and goes and buys a bow. And then while he's out, he wants to find some homeless people she's relatively connected to, some nice homeless chaps, and he would like to pay them to see the show.
Okay, so you're slip out and you're darting down alleys and trying to avoid, I guess, drawing too much attention.
Well, I mean, he's acting very flamboyantly, actually.
Oh yeah.
Because he's in his pimp regalia.
I like it. So we'll use a personality, or luck, your choice. Which is better for you?
They're the same actually. So luck's fine with me.
Yeah. And just make a
luck check or
yeah.
There we go. Success.
Oh. And so you avoid trouble, frankly, on your little excursion because you went out.
Excellent.
So we do our little moves so you won't get shot in the back maybe or found by the green sorcerer or something, minions.
Well, I'm trying to disguise myself. Like that's his whole getup. Yeah.
Oh, you pulled it off. Oh yeah, you look like some high rolling street person, and you go there and you buy a bow you wanted.
A short bow, yeah, short
it wouldn't
bow
be too difficult. I guess I'm not sure how much it costs.
I looked it up and I took off the gold.
All right, we'll move forward. You buy it and you spend the last hour and a half doing that. And as you just get back, you see the plaza is already filling up. There's way more vendors that's sprung up around the sides. You know what I mean? They formed this open plaza around the well, and there's probably a couple hundred people at least already in there. And you move through carefully, quickly, unless you have a different way you want to go into the theater.
I'd probably go through the back.
Yeah, and those back doors, I don't think they're locked.
Yeah, I just walk in there.
Yeah.
Start eating
We
food.
we might want to lock those.
They have a simple
s-
lock on them.
Yeah, so that got into the question as to, like, I didn't want to turn this into a fire death trap, but I was going to be back there. So if somebody did come in, the idea was that, I'd see them.
So what's the plan? So is this plan you're gonna take the back? I'm gonna take the stage, and then maybe Creel can take the crowd. Is that how we're
Yeah.
planning on splitting this up?
I know
Okay.
that these two alleys, the 1-5, those are ones I'm worried about. So maybe what I can do is, yeah, I'll go hang out amongst the balconies kind of thing on this high side.
But
It-
could we lock those doors though? The ones that go from 1-5 to 1-7?
Yeah.
And then the ones that go from 1-4 to 1-7. I mean, those I'd almost wonder if they would be locked during a show anyway, because you don't want people wandering around, getting
Yeah.
lost and wandering around.
No,
right?
probably. At least these ones would, because the pit area is just like, yeah, drunk
Mhm.
people milling about.
Yeah, and that's not where you want people going in case of fire anyway. You want them going back the way they know where it is, where the lobby is.
Hmm.
You don't want them getting lost in the dark backstage area.
So I'll hang out up here for right off the bat as the whole crowd comes milling in. I'll see if I can sort of spot anything strange, and then as the show is going on, I'll peek around these different places, and then if need be, I can. I guess that kind of leaves me away from you guys, unless I had a key to get through 1-5.
Um, yeah. So
Yeah, you guys could have key for the 1-5 doors.
Okay.
Bantu, were you not going to be up in the fly loft? Are you thinking, or?
I will. Yeah, I'll be up here. So,
Yeah. Okay.
And while I'm up there, and when I get up there, while I'm like ready to take the stage, when everybody's ready to take the stage, I want to tie a rope around my waist and then tie it to like one of the planks or something.
Oh yeah, tether.
Yeah, just in case I fall off or something,
Yeah.
or need to get down.
Good call.
Quick.
Good call.
So how high is the stage from the pit? Is it like 6 feet or?
What was it again? About that, yeah. It's not crazy high. I'm guessing about that.
Or 4 feet?
I wish we had some barricades like they have at like actual concerts, like that we could set up right here so they can't get too close.
Yeah, it says those doors are both locked. The ones that go from the pit up. It said, I'm just looking that up quickly here, just make sure. And barred.
Okay.
And barred.
Okay, nice.
Oh, wow.
All
right.
Yeah.
That's good.
The doors leading backstage are usually left unlocked during performance to avoid the noise of clanking keys and locks. However, you guys requested that they be locked for security purposes. They reluctantly agree, and they oil the locks. They surprise you. They're quite professional in some ways. You notice. They're like, oh, don't be too noisy. They oil the locks, and you're given the keys to open the door locks that you need. So now there's 2 keys for each door. But these doors are barred, so they're not really meant to be used. But they could be
Now-
torn down, I suppose.
Can I see if I was standing in like, this upstairs archway, could I see Batsu up in the fly loft by any chance?
No. No, and he can't see beyond like maybe the fringe of the pit. He can maybe see there.
Okay, never
And-
mind.
And you can see the
Guys!
top.
I need some like cloth from like the props department. I just need some like different colored cloths. We need to make like signals so that
I was just gonna
we
say,
can communicate.
Oh, did it drop something?
with
Tweet,
each
tweet.
Or like yeah. Even just so maybe you two can get in contact with each
Well,
other.
the time is
Yeah.
ticking here. I was just about to kind of kick it in. So if you wanted something simple,
Yeah,
I'm ready.
so here will be the signal. As I'm waiting over here, we will have two sort of cloths that you can sort of dip down from the fly loft low enough that maybe it looks like it's part of the scene, but I'll be keeping an eye out. If it's red, it means like you need immediate help back there,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's white, it means all good sort of deal. Um, I will just have to try to get a message to you somehow in worst case scenario.
Or you can try to get a message to Graiku. And I'll give you guys strips of cloth. I'll rip it into 3 pieces of each
And
color so we can both kind of communicate, all of us.
I
Mhm.
should mention that's good. I'll give you a fleeting luck point for thinking that we're coming up with that, guys. Now, just so you're aware, I know the map, I forgot to do an exterior map, but there is still the alleyways and the back alley, and there's the front plaza is actually still technically an area in this game. I know it's not on the map, but just envision out the southwest corner, there's a round, large plaza with vendors and performers, buskers and stuff, beggars, of course.
Sounds good.
All right. And so stuff, I'm not saying anything's going to happen out there, but that's where you could observe things as well. And you can go outside or you can go on the roof or whatever you want to do too, but you guys are set up good. That's fine. The map, I didn't mean it to be seen constrictive that way. So we're ready to move on then, because the clock's ticking away and it's getting a little darker as the dusk is coming a bit. And
I'm ready. I'm tied.
as the sun begins to descend behind the towers and tenements of Lankhmar, the Mummer's court starts filling up with people. Some are residents seeking relief from their cramped homes, but the majority are people come to see tonight's performance. A glance notes that most are from Lankhmar's lower class seeking an evening's diversion for a few iron ticks. However, mixed amongst these less fortunate souls are men and women of better means, tradesmen, merchants, priests, and similar folk. Standing aloof from the poor, and furthermore, the occasional veiled or hooded figure attended by a hulking bodyguard or 3 waits in the shadows for the doors to open. These must be like slumming nobles coming to enjoy a night at Duke Borvat's expense, right? The word's gotten out and the place is hopping. The doors open finally at sunset and bystanders begin filling in and paying their admission to 2 pairs of dung sweeps manning the entrances. And these are like lesser actors, play almost no roles, sort of thing, props people. And they're running the door and collecting ting, 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 ting. You can hear everything going. Admission occurs without incident as far as you know. Creel, you're there watching this. You're watching them fill into the lobby and go into their places. And the nobles are going up the stairs and into their spot and so on. Tradespeople are in the top floor, the top balcony, and then the scum are in pit. Give me an intelligence check. And anyone else who's noticing this, I suppose, anyone else watching the crowds fill in and so on? I guess that would, Batsu, you could roll too. Everybody could roll, actually, because would be watching. As you poke your head around, you'd see it filling in.
Yeah.
Okay, you do notice there's this extraordinary rambunctious the crowd seems to be. And rumors have gotten out about the Duke's threats, Praby. And, it's not just rumors here. Word's gotten out that the Duke is angry. And perhaps some people are hoping to witness some bloodshed with their show. And they're excited about that. And the risk of being accidentally injured or killed adds to the additional element of excitement and foreboding to the evening.
What's pleasant?
Yeah. So the place starts filling up. Graku, you're down below. Now, anyone want to do anything as in the moment? So now the time's kind of ticking now, and the show is going to start pretty soon. You see that the actors are getting in places. You see Jallo's moving around, and he's directing in the back stage. There's prop people ready. Up in the fly loft, you notice Batsu that the kids are running around and they're getting ready at pulleys, and You've met
Try to stay out of the
Samuel,
way.
Adrian, and the boys. Yeah, you met the boys up here.
I-
Overture, hit the lights. This is it, the night of nights. And oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the
On
show.
with
Uh,
the
This is
show.
it.
This is it.
So then here we go. So Gryko, you notice Jallo peering out from between the curtains at the house as it fills up, and he's muttering something, and you're standing beside him, and he kind of sighs and shakes his head, and he's oh, the crowd, they seem skittish and a bit more rambunctious than normal. They can be unpredictable. We'll keep an eye on them. I'm best you keep an eye on them too, perhaps.
Yep, I agree. There's a certain energy tonight. Let's just send out positive waves.
Now here's a mechanic I'm going to introduce to the game, and it's in the module. And what's happening is there is a Roulette counter. So the crowd, and I'll show you briefly so you know what I'm using. Do you see this? The audience mood.
Oh.
So right now, the audience is actually pleased. They seem quite pumped and they're happy, and there's some whistles going out and some people are cheering or singing. Break is out. So the group, drunken group. And so at the moment they're pleased. Now, for everything that disrupts the play, annoys the mob, pushes the counter from pleased to the right, to neutral, to annoyed, to surly. If the mob hits surly, there's probably going to be a riot and the place is going to be burnt down.
Uh-oh.
Now, there's a good chance that could happen, just to let you know. Things might get out of your control. It might not be your fault, and that's just the way Lankhmar adventures go. This module's kind of written like, whoa, okay. But you can, if you're lucky and play well, you could perhaps even end up being ecstatic and everything become flowers, and you become true heroes in every sense. So just let you know this is what's going on. There's all sorts of triggers in the module that can push this. Most of them push it to the right, by the way, just to give you a heads up. And it's a lot of fun. So just to bear that in mind, there's this sort of pressure. And if the place gets ransacked and burnt down or rioted or whatever, you don't get paid.
Well, we can't have that.
And yeah, and it could get violent. Okay, let me just get a little more organized here. So that's a little mechanic going on. It's kind of fun. Why do I have that on? Okay, pardon me. I have to close some things. So you notice this, and that's supposed to introduce that chart at that moment. And I closed a window. Sorry, guys. I lost all my books. Closed the wrong window. So let me get this back. So you're moving around a little bit, but staying in your posts and whatnot, keeping out on things. Now, Creel, you notice there is a argument broken out in the on the edge, and this is a surprisingly good seat in the theater. You've noticed it's in the 1-3 area, but it's in the corner up here, and you realize this is actually a really good seat up there. It's good view. And there's an argument broken out, and you were kind of just heading that direction. And you see that there's a large man and his beanpole wife, and they're both dressed in their best holiday clothes, and they seem to be middle class, probably own something. He looks big, as muscular guy, perhaps a blacksmith or something, and he's contending with a veiled woman wearing a fine silk and damask gown. And a towering brute of a bodyguard stands by her side with fist clenched. And the two parties are arguing over something, and the big brute and the blacksmith, and there's a few people down in the pit cheering and things, and a few of the people are looking a bit worried up on the balcony and stuff because they're yelling pretty heated, and you're pretty close. You're only about 25, 30 feet away, maybe at the most.
I quickly, are there people like taking drinks around?
Yeah, there's, yeah, oh yeah.
I quickly snag a whole tray of drinks from one of them, and before they can even really say anything to me, I say, "It's, the show must go on at Jalou's expense." And I quickly shuffle away as the
Yeah.
slack-jawed gawker stares at me, and I quickly rush over, and I say, "Please, sirs, madame, have a drink, and let's all sit down. What seems to be the problem here?"
This upstart here claims this is her seat. And the veiled woman goes, "This lowly blacksmith is mistaken. This was my seat."
Hmm.
Nonsense. I bought this for my wife on her birthday. I bought it for my wife on her birthday. These are the seats. I ordered them specially. And the veiled woman, "I don't care, scum. They're my seats now."
Surely, madame, that we could find you another seat. One may be more suitable to someone of your standing.
She looks down her nose at you with these big kind of beady pig eyes. You can tell she's not a pretty woman by any means, but she's used to having her way. Other seats, but this is my seat. What other seats possibly? And you look around. Jim, make a luck check to see if there happens to be seats.
Damn it.
And the place is kind of filling up. And she goes, tell this man to go away. I'm tired. I want to watch this show. It is starting soon. And people are starting to boo and hiss around. "Sit down. Stores can start." Boo. And some people kind of throw a couple things. And there's all of a sudden the brute starts to muscle up.
And I reassure her again. I say, "Please, madame, if you'll just allow me a moment, I'm sure I can get you some seats down in perhaps a section over there." Or, I point to, of course, some of the obviously better seats. And I say, "If you'll please just come with me and have a drink in the meantime, I will go call upon the master and fix this terrible injustice right away."
"Ugur, throw him into the pit," she says to the big brute. And the big brute goes to grab you.
Well, he's gonna try.
Oh
you
no.
tried the chair move. Didn't work. That was a nope. Okay, so this big brute, he just goes to grab you. And he's big. So roll initiative.
Beat a 3.
Beat a 3. Now, Gratsu, make a luck check to see where you happen to be, if you happen to notice this commotion. You were watching out there, but oh wow, not 20 to Jim.
Thank God that's an initiative roll.
Yeah, no kidding. So Jim, he's gonna do a feat to grab you and throw you into the pit.
Mm-hmm.
What's your AC?
10.
Alrighty. He grabs you
But
and throws you into the pit. Oh, I noticed he die. If it, oh, did that work?
Yes, but he didn't do it.
He does grab you and he lifts you up and he goes to throw you in the pit. So you get to make your move before he's going to throw you into the pit. He's if you don't don't counter it, he throws you in the pit.
Okay. I'm just going to do a strength thing to get out of his grasp.
Yeah. Okay, so we have to make counter a roll off.
It's a roll off.
Okay, Gryko, luck check. If you could see him being hoisted up in the air.
I'm going to burn a fleeting luck. So that'll bump my strength roll up to 17.
Oh. Good roll.
He finds my silk clothes slippery.
Oh, indeed. And you manage to slip out of his grasp. Or, yeah, you squirm kind of out of his grasp with your fleeting luck. And Gryko, You see this big brute struggling with Creel, and he's kind of head and shoulders over, and the crowd's booing and stuff, and ooh, boo. And then some of them are cheering, hey, all right. The pit's kind of cheering. Everyone else around you is booing, basically. So Gryko, you're ways away, but you see, it's like, oh crap, what's happening with Creel? So back to Creel.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, oh, you little squirmy, are ya? And he goes to punch you. Ooh, that's close. That's +1. He's 14. Jim, what's your?
Yeah, he hits me.
And he's got these huge fists and 4 damage. +1, 5. He is a brute with his fists.
Alrighty.
Oh, and you hear ribs crack and stuff as he's hits you a couple times, and he's like, now move aside. He says to you. You're trying to catch your breath. It's your move, though. And he's watching, and the blacksmith has stood back, and he's putting up his fist, kind of like, all right. He's like, oh, you casted sleep on him?
I cast sleep on him and the woman. I'm just checking to see how well it went.
Nice.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, I know you may have to make that DC personality check because your blood is up. This guy just punched you, knocked the air out of you, broke some ribs.
He didn't do that much damage to me. I got a lot more
Oy.
where that came from.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah. Waves of blue light come out from my fingertips and envelop him and this woman. They have to make a will check. DC 19. Or fall asleep.
Wow, right. Okay, we'll include that. All right, so that's. Ooh, we almost had a 20 there. The brute almost passed, but they both will go into a slumber, right?
So they follow, and the sort of stipulation as I'm casting the spell, I say that the only thing that can wake them will be the stroke of the midnight bell, because that's what the spell says.
Wow.
And and it's this really cool, these waves of blue light come out and sort of ensorcel them both, and then they drop to the ground in a hilarious fashion, and I belt out, a hearty laugh, and I raise my hands and I face everybody around who can see me, and I bow, and I say, and stick around for the rest of the show, and you will see more tricks from Oberon the Mystical. Thank you. This has been Act 1.
Oh, so give me a personality. I'm going to make it a DC check, but it's going to be just it's going to be an 8. It's a number. And the crowd erupts of the cheer, and the stage, you could see you guys have kind of interrupted a bit of the burlesque show, and they sort of give off this big cheer and this exaggerated kiss, and they turn around and give you a fanny shot, and the crowd soaks it up. They laugh. Normally, if there's combat, if that thing gets bumped, by the way, but you handled that, Jim, with the sleep and everything, and you made your personality check. So I'm not going to bump it. It stays at the crowd is still happy.
Awesomely
Perfect.
handled. Good job.
Well played.
Gracias. And I flash the white cloth. But I quickly and I bow and I beg the forgiveness of the blacksmith and his wife. I say that, of course, sir and madam, there was no harm ever going to come to you. This was all part of the show. I'm sorry if we gave you a bit of a scare.
Jim, it says here You get the doom, enmity of a minor noble who won't forget the slight, it says here. So you got to write that. You have a doom, an enmity of a minor noble who won't forget the slight. But she's snoozing. But you gain a benefit of known in the trades. So this blacksmith guy, he goes, "You come, anytime," he says, and let me look up the quick name of his place he runs. "You come see me. I do you a favor. They call me Shazik, the armorer. I'm down by the End Gate Road." And the End Gate is in the south, very south, Lankhmar. Basically, it's one of the End Gate is there it's one of the main gates for exiting Lankhmar in the south.
That's awesome. So and of course, again, well, sounds good. I will be sure to take you up on that, good sir. And I take the rest, I give them their drinks, and I take the rest from the platter and hand them back to the busboy, who's still standing with his jaw agape in wonder. And I say, get those bodies out of here.
Oh, and now, yeah, you dump them in the alley. They'll be stripped clean in an hour.
Oh, that's funny.
Now, and I'm going through these events, as you notice, this module is really well written in these different ways. It's got these real neat little things that happen and the pre-show stuff that we go through. And everybody gets their turn, sort of. So that was well played, Creel.
Thank you. I was going to say I can't stick around for a whole lot longer. But if we're doing the turn thing, then I might just hop out now while the other guys are doing their stuff.
Yeah, it's almost 2.5 hours, and I usually say 2 or 3 hours, of course. So right on, Jim. I appreciate it. If you have to leave sooner or later, if you want to hang for a little bit or whatever.
Yeah, the sooner I get going, the better. I got to do some work stuff. But yeah, no, this has been awesome. I'm really excited for the next session.
Yeah, there's been a lot of setup, right? A lot of crunch, but I enjoy that stuff too.
Yeah, very cool.
Oh yeah, and you guys have been playing it well, and you're getting to know a lot of people.
Nicely played.
Yeah, and this is going to be
good.
our Lankhmar story, right? This is how Lankhmar is meant to be played. You build and build and build,
until it all crumbles down.
Exactly. It's meant to just up and down, and so we'll carry on then. So Creel is busy, and he's being feted by the middle class, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
They're impressed. Your reputations
for sure.
went up with them, especially with the blacksmiths.
Perfect. I will talk to you guys later.
One of the head guildsmen. So
nice.
All right.
We'll see you.
Nice playing with you, man.
Yeah, you guys too. Good luck.
So Graiko and Batsu both notice this. There's a bit of a hubbub, and the show is going to be starting in like minutes. They're finishing up the burlesque act, and the crowd is whipped up. And you notice Creel had his little sideshow that bought some more time, and you realize there's something going on. There's a hubbub. You see that Ethib, who is the aging diva, she's very demanding and very pompous and has massive wig that's like it's huge and there's probably mouse nest in it somewhere and so on. And she's calling out and frantic. And she's been looking around the stage, and there's a couple of the stage hands are on their hands and knees looking around on the floor. And she's, oh my. And Humphrey's trying to, oh my dear lady. And he's dressed up like in the Duke's uniform. And he looks way different, Humphrey. Way different. He looks 30 years younger. He looks amazing, Humphrey. In a way, but it's exaggerated too. Like he has an exaggerated lipstick and stuff like that. It's meant to be the Shakespearean.
Props to the makeup department.
Oh, indeed. And you're like, wait a minute, is it him? He comes out and he's like, my dear, and him and the diva he's trying to console her. And he looks over at Graiko and he's, you sir, it's a tragedy. He mutters, tragedy. And she's sobbing and she's trying not, but she's not crying because she's so pro and old school that she won't let it get in her makeup right. So you can ignore it and you walk away. Batsu, you see it, but you're up in the loft, Batsu. And you realize that you've seen the boys zip down on lines and stuff real quick. And they
Really?
use
Whatever.
counterweights, by the way. You watch them use a counterweight where they just go zip down, and then their buddy cuts a line and they get pulled up.
Oh wow. Yeah, then I'll go down. I'll go down. I'll see what the hubbub is when
Not
I
to
see
untie
hysterics
yourself,
going.
unless
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
because you'll have to go backstage, right?
yeah. I'll untie
Yeah.
myself.
So it's moments to
Whatever's
showtime though, and Jallo's just like, what is it? What is it? He's coming back there, and he's going out on stage, and he's starting to give the speech. Like Jallo wasn't here. He's gone onto the stage. You know how they do that, and are presenting the theater act. Blah blah blah. You can hear him bellowing out. There's a drum roll going, and then so you go up. Batsu, you just scamper down. Greco, you're first out. You have a round or two, and
yeah, and whatever is the matter.
my precious, it's gone. She wails out, and it's Humphrey kind of looks at you with a sidelong glance, a bit bleary-eyed, and I say it's her charm.
Oh, okay. So and which is what, a necklace, a bracelet?
I'm just trying to find what it was again. Pardon me. It's her lucky earring.
Mm.
And she's like holding her ear, and I don't know where it went. It fell off or something. I'd misplaced it. I don't know. And
Uh, have no worries, madame. I shall find it.
she
Prince.
seems very superstitious. It'll be disaster. The show will be
Regis,
disaster.
Feel bit. Have no fears. I shall find it very quickly. All right. So yeah. So I'll just trace from her location back to the dressing rooms.
So you realize time's the essence, so you're quickly off. And Batsu shows up, and you kind of heard the last bit, Batsu, as you were coming up. What is it? And you just heard about some earring. Everyone's looking for an earring on the floor.
Yeah, then I'll give I want to look on at people. I want to be like doing basically like ocular pat downs at people.
Yeah,
Maybe somebody took it.
perhaps, yeah.
That's what I'm
And
thinking.
looking for suspicious people or something, yeah. So
Mm.
you can give me a intelligence DC. I have a number.
I want to add a fleeting luck. Just one.
Okay, you
Yeah, I do it. And that's
okay.
a D4. 3, so 16.
All right, so everyone seems to be genuinely upset. You don't see any like guilt, like obvious, or somebody or whatnot, and you don't really sense any nefarious aspect so far. Even like you're pretty keen-eyed at this sort of stuff. And you realize that she may have lost it in one of these cracks in the floor or something. I don't know, it's maybe gone or something.
The basement.
Ah.
I'm gonna hop down there as quick as I can.
Sprint down. Okay, you
Yeah.
sprint down there, and you head down and start to look. Just give me a luck check. What do you have for light down there? There's no light supply really. You take something with you. I'll say a candle, a couple candles.
Yeah. Luck check, you said?
Yeah.
Let's see. Success, it says.
You find it.
Please. Yeah. And I'm shouting as I rush back up with it.
And oh, you're saved. And she comes forward and to your surprise plants a big kiss on you. That's you completely resist, but you're sort of taken off guard as she just kind of grabs you. My hero, and you feel yourself being cupped.
Can I try dexterity to try to squeeze out of that as quick as possible?
Yep. It's like,
Let's
see me in my
see.
room, sort of
6.
thing.
No.
You will see me in my room, as you can't pull away because she's got your nads.
That delays me a little bit, and I want to get to those pulleys as quick as that's where I'm heading.
Yeah. So you do pull away, and she's I'm ready. She gestures, dramatically, and they quickly come up and get her ready. And the house lights slowly dim as the Dung Sweep Players crew extinguishes the candles and lamps inside the theater. The audience cheers in anticipation of the show that's about to begin. Whistles and shouts rise above the clamor, and the sounds of stamping feet on the floorboards fills the building with noise. Backstage, the cast exchanges mixed looks of excitement and trepidation. There is a sound of creaking pulleys as the curtains rise and the first players step onto the stage. The show has begun, but how will it end? And that concludes the session.
Excellent.
All right,
Cool.
excellent.
And I'm going to add to this. I'll add some sounds and a lot of more props and such.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very fun.